Ladies and gentlemen, look. All right. Here we are. It's great, of course, to see you all. So, let's just get right into it here. It's sort of like, well, in fact, it's almost exactly like what the philosopher Bob Dylan would say. And he said, well, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. And he was goddamn right when he said that. So, herein lies the topic of this video here. Well, while we can't talk to a specific person, we certainly here at FF Farms, we certainly can talk about them. For those people who are not on the farm, they certainly talk about FF Farms frequently. But that's all right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right. We don't hold it against some of them. Why would we? For, of course, keeping up with the theme of the last video here, well, and I suppose all the other videos here, we just want to know a few things. Certainly just want to understand why a certain Scott couldn't convince himself he shouldn't. Yeah, what a good fucking idea that was. To not meet me. Father of his grandchild. Why wouldn't he do that? That is, of course, ladies and gentlemen, what put this whole gory story into motion here. What that man did, or rather, didn't do, is what we're trying to figure out his motivations. What discernible reason would any father not meet the man who was to be the father of his first grandson? What man would do that? What kind of man would do that? And would you certainly have that man do your taxes? One must ask. One must ask. But, like, look, clearly, evidently, there is so much more to the story. You know, we could, of course, at the moment, go into the accounts in his daughter's name worth, what was it, $20,000. We're not going to do that tonight. But we will soon. Because, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, We just want answers here. It didn't have to be this hard. Certainly, it didn't have to lead to such dire, detrimental consequences. Just, you know, after the death of his grandson, why couldn't he reach out? So many people, not on just this continent, want to know now whether it's here in these United States, or Canada, the United Kingdom, and Latvia. People want to know. Why would Scott do that and act that way? Who knows? Only he does. I never met the man. I can't tell you with any sort of surety what the fuck was going through his head when he knew his daughter, his eldest daughter, was pregnant. And the family of the man who was the father of that baby was there. And Scott, well, Scott was nowhere to be found. Too busy tax season. Whatever. Where the fuck was he? For literally everyone wants to know, where was Scott? But, you know, like I have asked, pondered, perhaps there are just some unimaginable truths. Though, of course, Scott, dear boy, some truths are just so easily explainable. Like, of course, perhaps, and I give the benefit of the doubt here. Perhaps there was a good reason why he was nowhere to be found while his daughter was pregnant. Perhaps. I'd love to hear it. So many people would. But perhaps that's on Scott and whomever that Scott may be. An accountant, wherever he may be. But that's just on him. And perhaps we... No. Oh, for fuck's sakes, no. No, we're never going to settle for no answer. Not here. Not now. Not ever.